Princess Leonor and Infanta Sofia's cutest moments. Then Leonor took the oath that changed everything. What happens when two sisters who once shared quiet laughs, playful glances, and unforgettable childhood moments suddenly find themselves standing at the center of history? For years, Princess Leonor and Infanta Sofia have captured hearts with their sweet sisterly bond. But there is one moment when everything seemed to change. One sister was stepping forward to accept a responsibility that could shape an entire nation. And the other? She was right there beside her. As Leonor took the constitutional oath that marked a major milestone on her journey toward the Spanish throne, Sofia watched from nearby, and suddenly, their adorable sisterly moments seemed to carry a much deeper meaning. Because behind the smiles, the cameras, and the royal ceremonies, these are still two sisters growing up together. But could this be the moment when their childhood finally began to disappear? Princess Leonor and Infanta Sofia have grown up under an extraordinary spotlight. From elegant public appearances to family celebrations, the sisters have often been seen sharing warm smiles, exchanging glances, and appearing genuinely comfortable in each other's company. And those little moments are exactly what make their relationship so fascinating. Because while Leonor has been preparing for the enormous responsibility of becoming Spain's future queen, Sofia has grown alongside her, sometimes appearing as the supportive younger sister, sometimes sharing the spotlight, and sometimes simply enjoying a quiet moment with Leonor. But there has always been an invisible difference between them. Leonor was born first, and with that came a destiny she could never choose. Over the years, royal watchers have noticed countless little moments between the sisters. A shared smile, a quick glance across a crowded room, a moment when Sofia seems to make Leonor laugh. And those tiny exchanges can feel surprisingly powerful because they remind everyone that beneath the royal titles are two sisters with a relationship that has grown in front of the world. Sometimes, Leonor appears calm and composed while Sofia brings a more playful energy. At other times, it's Leonor who seems to take the lead, with Sofia following close behind. Their bond has become one of the softer sides of the Spanish royal family. But as the years passed, something else was happening. Leonor was moving closer and closer to the moment when her future would no longer be just a distant idea. It would become real. And that moment arrived with a historic ceremony. When Princess Leonor took the constitutional oath before the Spanish Congress of Deputies, the atmosphere was filled with history and anticipation. This was not simply another royal appearance. It was a defining moment in her preparation for the role that awaits her. As she stood before the nation and swore to faithfully carry out her duties, millions of people watched. And suddenly, the little girl the public had watched grow up was taking a major step toward becoming Spain's future queen. But perhaps one of the most emotional parts was remembering the journey that had brought her there. The childhood photographs, the family appearances, the moments beside her sister, the laughter that cameras occasionally managed to capture. Because while Leonor was taking a solemn oath, somewhere in the background of her story was Sofia, the sister who had shared so many chapters of her life. And that contrast was impossible to ignore. One sister was stepping into history, the other was watching her. And this is where the story becomes even more fascinating, because the oath wasn't only about Leonor's future. It was also a reminder that the sisters' lives will continue to follow very different paths. Leonor carries the responsibility of the crown. Sofia has her own future to build. Yet no matter how different their roles become, the memories they created together will remain part of their story. The playful moments, the quiet smiles, the sisterly glances. Those are the moments that remind us that even future queens have childhoods. And even inside a royal family, some bonds are simply personal. So perhaps the most captivating part of Princess Leonor and Infanta Sofia's story isn't the titles they carry, it's the journey they've shared. Because one day, the world may look back at these moments and realize something extraordinary. Before Princess Leonor became queen, before Sofia became known for her own path, they were simply two sisters growing up side by side. And on the day Leonor took that historic oath, the world saw the future of a monarchy. But behind the ceremony, behind the solemn promises, and behind the royal titles, there were still two sisters. And perhaps that is what makes their story so unforgettable.